Alright, what's going on, guys? For my English project, I chose to make a trap beat and then explain how it's made. What you're looking at on my screen right here is FL Studio. This is a digital audio workstation, and it's how all the instruments for this beat are going to be synthesized. A lot of people don't know, but all pop, hip-hop, trap, R&B music is often made in these. Instead of using real instruments, it's all computer generated. So every single rectangle you're looking at represents a different instrument. So for example, if I go into my choir pattern here, choir's misspelled, I have these notes drawn out on a piano, but it doesn't sound like a piano. It sounds like a choir, because I changed the instrument to sound like a choir, and that's how this is going to work. So every instrument is going to be a different instrument, despite the fact that it's all being drawn out on the same piano. So when you listen to this, it sounds like, when you listen to this pattern that I've drawn out, it's going to sound like. Because of time, I can't play the whole thing, but you get the basic idea. And it sounds pretty plain by itself. That was the first thing I came up with. I like the note progression of the kind of eerie F to A sharp. So then I created a melody that goes over top of it. Again, when I pull this melody up, you're going to see the exact same piano, but now the notes all sound like bells. So to go over top of that, it's going to sound like, again, using the same C, same G sharp, same C sharp as in the other progression, but now it's with bells, and it's a really quick, really repetitive pattern that you're going to hear throughout the entire instrumental. One of the most important parts of trap music, to give it that horror kind of dark-like feel, you're going to use these half steps where you're stepping up only one note. So C to C sharp or G sharp down to G. Those are known as half steps, and they're going to give you that eerie feel you hear. So those are the first two things I put together. When played together, they're going to sound like this.
Benny Beats.
So kind of that first intro is just kind of the dark choir playing with the melody, and then a general rule of all music is every 8, 12, or 16 bars you're going to change something up so that it doesn't get stale. As you can see, if you're looking up here at the top, after the 8th bar, I changed it up. So I'm going to bring in the drums and also the hits. So the drum pattern's fairly simple. Again, snares hitting on the 2 and 4, which if you were counting out the music, every time you say 2 and every time you say 4, snares going to hit. And if you're counting the kicks are on the 2 and the 3, but it's also going to have a few in between to keep the driving factor of the beat moving forward. So if I play just that pattern, nothing fancy. I didn't really change it up until midway through the beat. I just liked the way that one sounded. And then on top of that, I also brought in some hits. The hits are kind of a cool instrument. They're used in a lot of different genres of music. This is what a hit sounds like. And the way I chose to do the hits for this piece is I did the hits in the same chord progression as the choir, hitting every single time the kick drum hits, which I know is a lot to say and doesn't really make sense, but when you listen right here, you'll hear it. Every time a kick hits, a hit is also going to hit, and the hits are going to follow the same chord progression as the choir. So here you go. I like the way that sounds. I like the way it reinforces the kick and the chord progression at the same time. And then we get to the most important part of any good trap beat is the bass drop, where we're going to bring in those lower bass frequencies for this and for almost all rap music. An 808 is going to be used. An 808 is what you'll most often hear for your bass frequencies. My bad. So if I pull up the 808, it's going to sound like this. Pretty common sound, pretty something you'll hear in almost all modernly produced music. So to emphasize the contrast between what was currently playing and the bass that's about to drop, I added this rise effect, which you'll recognize immediately. Almost everyone uses those. And then again, to build tension, I added just a brief pause between my 16th and 17th bar where this gun loading noise plays. And then the bass drops into the main part of the song. So I'll play the drop for you. Again, last thing, the only other thing that changes right there besides the bass coming in is these hi-hats, which is that high ticking noise you'll have. And again, when you have long chords or long notes like this one, the hi-hats are what's going to reinforce that fast pace. So here, if we preview them, that just nicely contrasts with the long notes of the choir to keep the overall pace of the beat fast. So if someone were to rap on this, they could keep a faster pace as opposed to having to rap with this choir in mind. So one more time, I'll play it.